Who all remembers Book Expo America? Because Facebook just said, hey, it has been 9 years since you went to Book Expo America in 2016, the year it was in Chicago, which is absolutely wild. I was so excited to attend that Book Expo as a bookseller. I took personal time off to go, even though it was in my home city, which is why I could go. I was also a literary agent intern at the time, and I was just excited to be in a room where it felt like a lot of the backstage stuff was happening and to have access to conversations around books and to arcs, and it delivered. I think one day maybe I had a fellow coworker that I touched base with, but mostly I was doing it alone and just kind of observing and grabbing books where I could. I also met one friend in mutual, Melissa, shout out, in line for a book that I just happened to jump into line for because I'd heard buzz about it, and it would go on to become one of my favorite books. I was once lured back to a book club with this book, and I try not to be precious about arcs because I know as a former bookseller kind of how it goes, but this is one arc that I'm very precious about. I actually bought a finished copy so that I can protect this copy, and that is Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. Now, there were a lot of great books that were involved in BEA 2016, including also The Girl Who Drank the Moon, another arc I really treasure, but this is one of my favorite books, and you can tell I've tabbed it for said book club that I was lured back for, but also it is a personalized, signed, and doodled arc, and even with the kind of aging around the pages just because of the climate of my apartments, this means a lot to me, and I don't see this book talked about nearly enough. It is so inventive, and the big buzz in 2016 and for BEA that year was that this is George Saunders's first novel having come from short stories, and you can see the impetus and the short story instincts in the writing of this, but it is an incredibly moving, interesting, speculative novel that also reads very quickly because of the form. My only note in this book is that it's a lot of dialogue, or it's written in a lot of dialogue, and the speaker comes after the dialogue or the line, which as someone that is versed in reading scripts and plays, I would prefer that to be the other way around so you have an idea of who is speaking first. But this is absolutely one of my favorite books. I was introduced to it at BEA 2016. I have a lot of really fond memories of BEA 2016, and it is just absolutely wild that it has been that long, just shy of a decade.